Hi, everyone. Leslie M. Thornton here, Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss. Great to be with you today, as always. So, this conversation today is inspired by a conversation I had with a client today, and definitely clients that I've had in the past. And what came up for her was she is one of our newest members of the Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss program. And she's up to something, right? She has her own business. She's helping people accelerate their careers and gain their confidence. They're doing a retreat and a launch coming up. And so she has all of these things going on. And what she requested of me was that we give her an extension to actually officially start her program in a couple weeks, that she's still officially in, but she would like to have her official start date be in a couple weeks after things settled down and once the chaos had died down. And so, one thing that I know is that whatever comes up for clients while they're in the Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss program, it is happening for them. It becomes a window of awareness into how we automatically operate in our day to day lives. So when I spoke to this person, I said, listen, absolutely, really not about the time. What I really want to ask you about is around this being a pattern for you. Is it a pattern for you that you want to wait until everything is like perfect and comfy and wrapped up with a bow with strings and confetti and beautiful warm drinks, and you just want everything to be perfect? Right? And then you'll actually take the action. So I see this all the time, especially with people coming from diet mentality. Your whole life has been around this, is that we want every I to be dotted. We want every T to be crossed. And I know that better than anybody. When I was following that super strict food and exercise program, I can't tell you the rush that I had for every single pinch of an ounce, right? When I was weighing my food, it'd be like 10.0, or right, whatever, like not even zero point 0.1 over what it was supposed to be. It was that. And it felt like this rush of like, oh my gosh, like, yes, everything that I'm doing is so perfect. And then, right? But then as soon as I would be off a hair, all of a sudden my insides would be completely all over the place. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know how to deal with life, right? All this kind of stuff. And so many people live their lives so compartmentalized of, well, I'll get into meditation once I'm retired, or I will um, think about changing jobs after I'm at the end of my rope with this one, instead of starting to dream about that now because I don't have any time for it now. Okay. And then it really doesn't allow people to live the most robust life. So I had a coach once who was talking about, Leslie. He said to me, Leslie, the bigger the game that you play in life, the more in and out of integrity that you're going to be. Okay, so something that I know about all my clients, they are highly invested in their own personal growth and development. They're doing things, they're having families, they have kids, career stuff, you know, all these different goals and different things, different responsibilities in their life because they're playing a big game in life. They want to have it all. But something happens when you start to have it all, but your mind hasn't caught up and gotten away from that go, 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 go perfectionist mentality world. And it makes it internally so maddening, so frustrating, just really not good inside. And so, what this looks like is beating yourself up, feeling angry, frustrated, short tempered, having trouble sleeping at night, eating, overeating, drinking a lot, weight gain, right? Like all these things is just like because our inner worlds are just screaming at us, like, please help me. And it's like, but at the same time, like you're still going after your goals and still going after your dreams. So, what I said to this client today was like, look, here's what I want you to do. And I asked her this, so is this normally what happens is you wait until everything's perfect and then you can like have this perfect experience. I said, what I'm more interested in for you is that while your life is overwhelming and while your life is happening super fast and you have all these different things that you're juggling at the same time, for you to build in the habit and muscle of self-care now. Right. So I'd asked her, have you started listening to the hypnosis yet? And she's like, no, I haven't even done that yet because I really want to wait because on Saturday I have a lot of space in my day. And I said, okay, we're rewriting the script. Start listening to the hypnosis today. Right. You just put on some headphones while you fall asleep at night. You can do it while you're doing the dishes. Like you can add in these things to take care of yourself day to day so that you're not just on this marathon race of like work, 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 burnout, 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 burnout. Right. And then we're in that rut. It's like in order for us to have that balance, in order for us to get on that permanent weight loss train, we have to get good at juggling the different things, but and without the chaos, without the mess, without the chatter, without the stress, without the freak out and the panic. It's just automatic. Right. So for example, in my day-to-day life, my calendar is so full, right? Just every single, right? Just from 9 a.m. And usually I'm starting to do stuff earlier than that, all the way until probably 9 p.m. on most days, 8:30 p.m. Right? It's just full of, client stuff and whatever. But in between calls, like I suck up every ounce of time that I have to do any kind of self-care stuff in between. Whether it's listening to a meditation or doing a 15-minute workout or doing some house chores in between client sessions and calls, or maybe I just want to lay down and read a book, or maybe I want to lay in bed for a little while, or maybe I want to sit out in the sun for a while or water my flowers. Like they're still all productive things, but I've built it in so that my day feels like one continuous beautiful. It's very rarely this like horrible woo day. Okay, but I've had to work hard to get there. I've had to work really hard to get there. It did not just happen overnight. Everything that I've done, every amount of emotional master work that I've done, but definitely the biggest thing that I've done has been getting over my crazy feelings about food, body, and weight. My head was nonstop, always panicking about gaining weight, losing weight, trying to figure out what to eat every day. It was chaos. And I know that if you're listening to this podcast, that your brain is in chaos. I talk to you guys all the time that are listeners, right? It's like the other day, just this past week, talked to someone, she said 80% of her day is thinking about food, body, and weight. 80% of her day. And what we actually discovered on that phone call was that ever since she was in middle school, she was always trying to avoid negative comments, worrying about what other people thought of her. She couldn't stand the thought of having that attention. There's all this, unworthiness, or, what if they say bad things or people are mean. And so losing weight, the obsession with that is really the self protection of trying to avoid those comments that feel like life or death to a human being. Survival feelings. Yes, they're feelings, they are very valid, but your life is being run by them. Your life is being run by the animal part of your brain that's scared of abandonment or being excommunicated from the pack, right? And death. And on the other side of that fear and on that death is a life of abundance, of inner peace, of happiness, of freedom, of joy every single day, connection, intimacy, meaningful relationships. I remember one of my clients, I think I've said it before, and she was just like, have the trees always been this green? Has it been this beautiful the whole time? I mean, I've shared with you about the first day that I woke up after that hypnosis, that tingling, that feeling, and that look in the air, just, oh gosh, like being I don't even know how to describe it. My clients who are watching this live may know what I'm talking about, but it was like, how come I don't care about food today? How come I'm okay with my body today? How come yesterday I was like a pack rat packing food into my backpack to make sure that I didn't run out when I was going out for the day. And then I listened to this hypnosis, and the next day I wake up and like I don't have any of that. Like I'm fine if there's food and I'm fine if there's not food, and I don't care what my body looks like, and I'm not panicked about if I'm going to gain 100 pounds tomorrow. In one day of starting to train the subconscious. It really can be that fast. Most of my clients are free by week 1 or week 2 of the food. And then it becomes, how do we make this a lifestyle? Right? How do we actually make sure that, just like I started this podcast with today, that the self care is built in on a regular basis, that the taking care of the mental piece, taking care of the mindset piece, taking care of the spiritual piece, the conscious piece, right? The whole piece. Instead of just trying to control and manipulate your weight and your body all the time, it just has you miss out on how green the trees are and how beautiful the grass is. And yes, sometimes before we're able to enjoy that fully, we need to feel the pain and get rid of the things in our life that are not working. How long have you been miserable at your job? How long has your marriage not been working? How long has your communication with your partner been not good? I was just talking to a woman this week and not getting emotional support from her husband at all. Not wrong or bad, doesn't mean anything bad about her husband, but it still means that she's unfulfilled, that there's some part of her life that is missing. And so we need to support her in getting that fulfillment, because otherwise we keep filling ourselves up with the food. And then the mental chaos starts because we're so mad at ourselves. But consider the fact that all that chaos is there because your consciousness is trying to get you to find this program. Your consciousness is trying to actively, deep down inside of you, and your subconscious is not letting you go, that there has to be a different answer, that maybe you don't have to struggle with food, body, and weight anymore. When are you going to start listening to that call? Your body's been asking for you to do this work for your entire life. I have so many people coming onto calls with me saying, I wish that I found this sooner. But I always say, I really like to trust that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so no worries or shame about the past. But the message is coming now. So book a call with us. You know how to do it. And if you know anyone, if you're listening to this live, who could really use hypnosis for permanent weight loss program, if it, would make a difference in their life, then please just type the word share transformation, 2 words, in the chat, and we'll make sure that you get a nice form for how you can make an introduction. So love you guys so much, and talk to you next time. Bye.